What's going on, party people? It's me, Will, again, and I'm your host this week for the Marvelite podcast. And with me, we have one of my regular co-hosts, Michael.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
And
Glad to be back.
We have the return of Boss Man Josh.
Say no more.
Say no more, fam. So how are you guys doing this fine Sunday afternoon when we're recording this?
I'm doing pretty well. Just had a good old meeting. Now here to talk some good old Marvel. I'm in the middle of my Defenders high, so I just need to get that done with. But pretty good though. Pretty good.
We're gonna get to that. What about you, Josh?
I'm doing pretty good. I was able to binge Defenders completely, and I've had time to process it now, so I'm not on the high anymore. But oh no, I'm doing pretty good. Nothing to complain about, really. Just happy to be on a podcast. It's been a while.
Everything that's coming out about Inhumans is not setting up for it to be successful. Even Forbes, I think, put out an article recently saying that Inhumans is like setting up to be a disappointment.
Disaster.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not good because Forbes people actually respect. Oh man, I'm very scared for this, and it's kind of telling what it is when this much drama comes out around it, and especially with the negative reception that Scott Buck has received from Iron Fist and from Dexter. Honestly,
he killed Dexter.
When I found out what seasons he did on Dexter, I'm like, oh.
He single-handedly destroyed 3 shows.
One man destroyed 3 shows between 2 decades. It's kind of fascinating when you get down to it. But and I don't have like vitriol or hate for Scott Buck, but I'm also there was that other article that came out.
What other article?
There was we did a video about it actually. It was about one of the directors coming out and saying that
he didn't like the trailer.
No, it wasn't the trailer. It was about that he was hired because he can work on a low budget. And
oh god, I think someone also from the same Inhumans camp also said they didn't like the first trailer.
Oh, that's not good. But
I mean, yeah, the movie looks like a mess, or not the movie. Sorry, TV show looks like a mess.
The thing is, a lot of people got the news kind of misconstrued because of the title can come off as kind of misleading. But what the director was saying, it's still concerning though, because what he was saying was that he was hired because he was also, I think, the director for Death Race 2 and 3 and something else. But he was saying that Marvel picked him because he has a talent for being able to create like action sequences and do films and TV shows that look cinematic but with low budgets, and that he can do them quickly as well. Because they were kind of running on a time constraint when they were doing Inhumans, which I don't know why you would greenlight the show and have it be like kind of constrained for time for you to do your filming and shooting and everything. The only time I get that is kind of for Iron Fist, which honestly I think they should have kind of pushed the time for that so they would have had more time to work on it. But I guess Marvel's kind of strict with their time slots and they don't move them much except for maybe the movies.
Well, did they say, like, at certain points, they had, like, 20 minutes to practice a fight scene?
That's what I remember hearing about.
Like, that's ridiculous.
And one of the big reasons is because they greenlit Daredevil Season 2, as far as I can tell. And so, if I remember right, their budget and their time had to go into doing that. But they're also still trying to produce Luke Cage Season 1, Iron Fist Season 1, and Daredevil, or Defenders first season. Yeah. So they had all those coming down the pipeline. They had to stick Daredevil Season 2 in there. Because it got greenlit. Those other shows got greenlit really fast. So. But just kind of going back to Inhumans and everything. Then I hope it's good. I hope it's at least decent. I want it to be like decent and watchable. Honestly, my expectations right now is that it's going to be like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. level, despite them filming on IMAX cameras. And that's supposed to be the big draw, which it really isn't unless you're like a cinematography buff. Because a lot of people, they're like, oh, IMAX, that's the big movies that they did like Polar Express and stuff in. And what was the other one? The one about space. Gravity. It's like, so that could be cool. But like, people don't... That's not really a huge draw for casual or even kind of nerd audiences either. I don't think that's going to be a big draw. The draw should be that, like, about Inhumans, and they've been trying to push them for so long, but people don't care about Inhumans, and it's just...
Will, I will not take this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. slander.
No, I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. seasons 2 and 4.
No, like I with Inhumans. So I've actually seen the footage of when I was when Nick, myself, and CJ were at San Diego Comic-Con. We actually saw 3 full scenes from the show. One being the opening, one being a scene between Maximus the Mad and freaking what's her name again?
Oh, Medusa.
Medusa. And what was the last scene? And another scene was between Black Bolt and Karnak. I think he was getting attacked. It was pretty bad. Like it was fairly bad. It made me less excited for the show. I think even the audience was kind of like, ooh, like what's going on here? This does not look good. Especially the opening scene of the show. It looks very cheap, poorly directed. It makes Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. look amazing.
Oh, that's
like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like season, like I want to say like it makes even season 1 of S.H.I.E.L.D. not look that bad.
Yeah, I've read a lot of rumors about like why Inhumans was changed from a movie to a TV show in the first place, and it seems to be like some sort of beef between I think it's Kevin Feige and I think Ike Perlmutter. It was either Perlmutter or Loeb who actually really wanted it, and he's like, fine, I'll give you Inhumans, and then they changed it to a TV show, and now we're kind of here. But it was in exchange for something that they were doing. I think it was for Civil War or something like that. I can't remember. But
I'm not too sure.
That's
I heard
a rumor.
apparently.
I don't know if that's true, but
apparently they said that it was meant to be a TV show this whole time, and the film was like a placeholder. But that kind of smells BS to me.
Yeah, that you made a title card for it, and you had
it's
it
real.
Set, yeah, and you had it set out years in advance. Like if it was going to be a TV show from the jump, you would have announced it the TV show like they did with Most Wanted, which we will never see the pilot for that. That poor show got scrapped so fast. And I don't know. I can't put. I think because the push has been so heavy for Inhumans is one of the reasons that it's kind of failing. And then you see kind of like what you were saying. It seems to be kind of a lack of effort, on their part, and like a lack of putting their best foot forward, I should say. Because kind of with Marvel, you would expect like Christopher Nolan tier material, but at the same time you do kind of expect a quality from it. Even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has. Like, I'm not trying to diss that show at all. Like, the Netflix shows have their thing. You know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has their thing. We have Runaways and Cloak and Dagger and all that coming up on TV. And there's kind of expectations going in, but they're like just everything that people are seeing, it's just not getting a positive reception.
You know what? Granted, let's wait for it to come out. Maybe it might turn out to wow us. But from what I've seen from extended scenes, trailers, and actual footage from the show, it's not looking too good. Josh, what do you think, though? What's your opinion on the Inhumans?
Just kill it.
Like, you want the show to kill it, or do you want the show to die?
No, I want the show to do decent enough, but then just to disappear. Because they've already made it at this point, so, I mean, hope for the best kind of thing. But it's one of those things where, honestly, I really wish Kevin Feige had more overall control over any aspect of the quote-unquote MCU. Because I think, he controls the movies, obviously. And I'd like to say previously he had some influence upon the TV show, which is why they had stuff like Joss Whedon directing the first, episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and, they had Nick Fury appear and stuff like that early on and all that good stuff. And, Maria Hill, showed up even at one point, and then they had Joss Whedon's obviously brother, I believe. Yeah, brother and like sister-in-law are like the showrunners. So like I feel like a lot of that was due to the fact that Kevin Feige still had some sort of oversight over it because it was in the MCU. But I feel like the division between Marvel TV and movies has gotten to a point now where it's just going to conflict instead of complement. So like they just need to relax, honestly. Inhumans, I just don't think that was a good property to be a TV show per se, just because Marvel has a bad rap of their heroes being quite repetitive thematically. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, how many of them can you call off that are kings or princes, and they have an evil sibling that wants to overthrow them at some point? Like it as a part of like not their origin, but it's like a very integral story to their run. I can count like 5 on my hand right now. I mean, like, you have Namor, you have Black Panther, you have Thor, you have, I guess, Inhumans, Black Bolt with Maximus. I mean, like, it's just, honestly, it's just, this wasn't the property to develop. Moon Knight would have been a good property to develop. Not saying for an IMAX thing like they're hyping Inhumans up to be, but if they really wanted to do another TV show, do that. But I wouldn't go, especially if they want to be cheap. Moon Knight could be so cheap, but I wouldn't, I don't know, I just wouldn't do, I would not have done Inhumans, basically.
And the fact that they already explored it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it was probably like their weaker points of the series as a whole goes to show you that people don't really give a fuck too much about it.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with it is, like, when you introduce a concept like that, it's like mutants or Inhumans, it's too big of a concept to not basically steer the overall narrative. You know, like in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they have the thing where there's a task force and, you know, the governments are involved and, you know, there's like worldwide panic in several countries about, you know, if someone's an Inhuman or not. Mm-hmm. You don't at all get that presence whatsoever, not even a brief mention of it in any movie.
Yeah, I know, it causes problems. No, exactly, and that's what I was thinking, like, once Inhumans comes out, they're going to have to, like, put a line in the sand and be like, okay, this means, like, this is canon, this isn't, because when Inhumans comes out, hypothetically speaking, if it were to do really successful, would it be in the MCU? Would it be in the same world as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or would it just go unnoticed, you know?
I think they said it's supposed to cross over with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, like, at this point, in my mind, it's like, I think it's like Season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like the last one that really feels canon 100% to the MCU.
You
know, like
didn't that set up Civil War?
No, not necessarily. Like the Inhuman season's like the last one. Like after that, it just kind of goes like.
I might even say somewhere in Season 2 it starts. I think Season 3 even starts to like divert a little bit more.
It does, because
its own thing.
When Season 2 did their Inhumans arc, when I'm watching the show, I'm like, it seemed like a giant analog to the royal family when I'm watching the show, except like Black Bolt and Medusa had a kid, and then you have Daisy and her whole storyline. Like, when I'm watching the show and seeing everything that goes on with Daisy's parents and her discovering her lineage and the Inhumans village and everything, I'm just like, so this is the Inhumans show, but without the royal family. Like, this is their own royal family just here on Earth with their little village and everything, learning and teaching and educating people. And you have the evil relative, but instead of it being a brother, it's mom and dad are evil, and one's an Inhuman and one's like a mutate. And
well, actually, I believe they will be connected, S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans to some capacity, because in the footage they show, they did reference the water supply being contaminated with Terrigen.
Yeah, so
which happened in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, so I think that is canon. So I think that's going to do it for this week. We've been your hosts for the Marvelite podcast. Where can people find you at? Josh, go. Where can people find you?
Right here.
They don't know that. That's why you got to tell them.
Where else would I be?
I don't know. Internet.
I'm right here.
There's a whole
internet right here. I'm just behind the scenes.
That's true. Mikey, what about you?
Yeah, you guys can follow me over on my social media at Failwell34 on everything.
Oh, follow our Instagram too, since we have one of those, it seems.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, fun fact.
Fun fact. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can find me on most social media except Twitter, as Will the Greatest. So I've been your host this week. Don't forget to drop comments down with the hashtag AskMarvelite so we can see them and talk about them on the next show. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Hybrid Network. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Yeet.